Path of Exile Expedition brings us a motley crew of ragtag traders, bombs, and of course, heaps of loot. But how will the meta of this league actually shape up? Today, we're going to take a look at the newly announced Expeditions League, do a general overview for the first of our many 3.15 patch announcement videos. Welcome, it's your friendly neighborhood Badger here, and I'm back. I'm excited to talk about Path of Exile Expedition. There is a lot to get through, a lot of highs, a lot of lows. If you did watch the previous video, I went over my live reaction of everything that happened with the announcement of Expedition, and there's a ton of videos for me to bring out. Today, this first video is talking about Expedition as a general league mechanic itself and what we're going to be expecting. In future videos, we're going to be doing things like looking over the 19 skills, we're going to be looking over the flask changes, all of the nerfs that might be coming to balance the meta changes, all of that. So if you like this kind of content, hit that subscribe button down below, ring that bell, and leave a comment on what your favorite thing about Expedition actually is on this video. Right before we jump into it though, I do have a $60 supporter pack giveaway to announce at the end of this video. If you watched one of my previous videos where I said that I definitely would guess the league name, and I was 100% correct, roll the clip.
And no, it's definitely not about boats and expeditions. 100%. There's no way. Please, no, don't.
See, as you can say, I was 100% correct in guessing the name. No, I will be doing a $60 giveaway of the person, or a random person who commented on that video. So definitely watch the end to see if you win that. And then contact me on Discord, or we'll sort out how to get that one to you as soon as possible. Anyway, let's get into it. Path of Exile Expedition. In Path of Exile Expedition, you will join the Kalguran Expedition, excavate their lost relics and undead using chains of explosives, then barter, deal, and gamble these relics with their merchants. So it's a challenge league, obviously, a new Path of Exile challenge league, 4 new NPC traders, 19 new skill gems, new base item types and unique items, and they've also made massive balance changes to make Path of Exile more challenging, including a full rework of the flask system, etc. And Path of Exile Royale is coming back. So there's a ton of information to get through. In this video, as I said, we're just talking about the Expedition mechanic, and then subsequent videos will follow. Unearth the past in Path of Exile Expedition. The Kalgur are using explosives to excavate their ancestors' settlements throughout Rayclast. Overwhelmed by the dangers they unearth, they require your violent services. You must strategically lay a chain of explosives and detonate them, defeating the undead that rise. Tactical planning is essential, as you must decide what to prioritize in the excavation, carefully balancing your temptation and capabilities. So this is a really interesting league mechanic that will be happening right here. Now, I'm just going to play the trailer here so we can have a quick little look at what's going on. But basically, you'll be putting down bombs in zones to blow up sets of, I guess, loot or monsters that will then drop a ton of loot for you. There's lots of really interesting ways that you can go about this. You can focus mostly on the prizes themselves, and then gain lots of shards to be able to trade with these 4 traders that you do see in front of you here. But it's going to be really interesting to see how this all plays out. You can see a little bit of gameplay in front of you here of killing some monsters that are coming up out of the explodes. You can see all of the structures you're putting down there to do chain explodes around, and then you're killing the monsters, getting loot from them. So obviously, Path of Exile is still an ARPG. We're killing a bunch of monsters to get a bunch of loot. But the interesting thing that comes with this is the trading and bartering system. All of the different kind of NPCs, the 4 different NPCs have different ways of bartering or trading. Some of them are about actually doing some bartering. You say you want me to pay this much. I'm going to pay, maybe a little bit less for this. And then see if they actually want to take that. Or there's a gambling system that you can use, which is very akin to, say, for example, Diablo 2 gambling back in the day, or even the last Epoch system, the gambling system there. So it's going to be a really interesting league, playing out with a lot of new types of trading experiences. We've not really seen any sort of expansion or anything like that in the system of trading or bartering or vendoring through Path of Exile, apart from maybe new vendor recipes. So bringing 4 new NPCs in to hopefully get a lot more better loot is going to be a really, really interesting mechanic coming through. You can see a couple of screenshots here of the type of vibe of the monsters coming through, the mechanic itself, placing down all of these detonation pods and then activating the detonator to explode the big chain going through, and then, actually fighting the mobs there as well. So as I said, you can trade with the Kalgur. After retrieving ancient runed artifacts, so artifacts like these one, Lesser Broken, Common Broken, Greater Sun artifact, Grand Order artifact, you can trade these with the Kalgur, which are these traders. So there's 3 here, and then there's 1 more trader as well. Each is interested in different varieties of artifacts and offers. So you've got gambling, you've got bartering, you've got upselling or exchanging. And we'll go over all of the 4 different types. So first of all, gambling. Gambling is basically gambling for a base item type, say for example a citrine amulet base item type that you know nothing of the stats on that, paying a certain amount of, say for example, Lesser Broken Circle artifacts, and then receiving a magic, rare, or unique version of that base item with potentially really bad stats or potentially amazing stats. There are going to be stories of people gambling leather belts and getting headhunters. This will happen, and it's fairly exciting. It's also a really interesting way of potentially trying to target a specific unique that you want outside of Ancient Orbing or Chance Orbing or anything like that. But you can consider it a version of Chance Orbing, but buying base items. Bartering is more so you being offered a price for an item and you having a chance to lower the price on that item. Try not to lower it too much though, because this guy right here, if he gets insulted by your offer, he may just refuse to even sell that to you, or he may give you a counter offer. So your typical bartering. Upselling is going to be purchasing an item, and then this boy right here going, you know what? That item, I could improve that item if you pay a little bit more. So how about you give me a little bit more, and I'll remove 2 of the lowest mods from this item, hey? How about that? There's some really interesting things that can happen here. You can see a couple of screenshots here. So this is the haggle, the bartering right here. So you can change the slider here to offer some less. You've got adding a suffix modifier. This is the upselling. So you know what? You've paid a little bit. I'll take the item. Or you could pay a little bit more and I'll add 1 more suffix onto the item for you, hey? Or, you've got this, the gamble right here as well. You see this quilted jacket. The quilted jacket could be purchased into a rare, unique item, potentially. An interesting way of going about it. And then there is kind of the end game version of this. So rather than finding in map zones themselves the kind of small expeditions, you can find expedition logbooks, which are basically blight maps but expeditions. Maps that you can go into, you can roll these, and the entire map, you've got a lot more explosives to set up. I think I saw in the video 24 that you could set up, and normally it'd be around like 3 or 4 that you would be setting up. If we can go back and maybe have a little bit of a look. It's already set up here, but you can see here we've got, say for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5, maybe 6. You get a lot more in the actual expedition logbooks themselves. Now, these are looking like interesting new zones. We've got Dried Riverbed, we've got Karoo Wargraves, we've got another Karoo Wargraves here. You can take a look at the zones themselves. They look quite unique and new, which is pretty exciting as well. Some kind of new scenery, but very much based on old maps. You can see here, this is very much based on the... What map is this? You know the map. I can't think of it on the top of my head. Actually, no, this is a hideout. Never mind, this is your hideout. You haven't actually gone into the map itself. But this one here looks pretty interesting. This one here is bosses. So this is one more interesting thing to talk about. Remote locations and exotic treasures. While planning your chain of explosives in a logbook expedition, so these ones here, the kind of separate zones, you should consider detonating various destructible objects. Such obstacles might be blocking secret passages leading to ancient, terrifying bosses and their valuable treasures. Really exciting. I think I saw 3 bosses. There might potentially be more. But we've got a really, really interesting looking boss right here. Very unique looking bosses. This one right here kind of got all vibes, but not quite, And then we've got another boss right here, a bit more of a lich or interesting type of vibe right there. And obviously some really interesting uniques as well. Now I'm going to talk about the uniques in a separate video. We've got a lot to get through, and I don't want to overwhelm all of the content in a single video. Down below, there will be a link to the playlist, all of the 3.15 announcement videos. There's going to be some heavy hitting ones, like all of the nerf ones, where I talk about my real thoughts about all of that. And to tie on to the end of this video, what are my thoughts about Expedition? The league itself, the actual mechanic looks extremely promising, extremely interesting. I love having extra places to go to, like these expeditions, and I am in love with bossing. So, for example, these bosses here, this is going to be what I'm going to be rushing. I'm going to be playing softcore trade again this time to go back to my roots. We're going to be rushing expedition logbooks. We're going to be rushing the bosses. We're going to make some videos on the bosses and their mechanics and everything like that. We're going to have a ton of fun with all of this. I think everything in this league looks really good. The mechanic looks really strong. The trading system, the bartering system, the gambling system, I really like the idea. I just hope it's rewarding enough. That's probably what I'm interested in seeing, whether it's actually going to be rewarding or not, enough. And the bossing as well, I hope the bosses are extremely difficult. But we're going to be talking about those uniques and some other stuff very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to hit that subscribe button. Come watch me over on Twitch as well when we play a little bit of Battle Royale over the weekend. I hope you guys enjoy this content. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, wait! I literally almost forgot. We have the giveaway to do. Now we have the video right here. I've got the link of the video. We're on commentpicker.com, so you know this is true. We're obviously going to filter duplicate users. And we're gonna, look, let's include replies to comments as well. Let's 100% do that. But right here, this is where we're going to be selecting the $60 supporter pack giveaway, start raffle and pick random winner. So let's go. Oh wait, sorry, we have to get the YouTube comments first. So we'll just wait for them to load. Let's just chill for a little bit. I gotta make sure that this is all done. This is all done in one take, so you know that this is all real. Don't you worry about that, it's all real. How many unique comments do we have? Let's have a good little look here, shall we? Let's have a good little look. 612 unique comments. Let's go, start raffle. Congratulations to Garf. Oh, dang, Garf, no way. Garf is a long-time regular viewer. Pog Badger Content Love X. There we go, Garf. Congratulations, Garf. I'll contact you on Discord because I do know you on Discord. Congratulations on the $60 supporter pack. Thank you so much. I'll pass back to previous Badger who recorded the outro to this video. Badger is out.